Come on.
Come on, let's go.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Living Traditions Homestead. Well, it's evening time. We're about to do our evening chores, and we're going to do something today for the first time ever. Now, this is our dairy cow, Rose, and her calf right next to her. That is Babe. We've been milking Rose twice a day since the day that Babe was born, and up until now, it's been working out perfectly. But Babe is getting older and she's drinking a lot more milk. So today is the first day that we will be separating the two of them overnight so that we will get all of the milk in the morning.
Right. Right now, because we're leaving Babe with her all the time, there's some times when we milk, we're only getting about a quart or maybe a little over a quart of milk. And milking is too much work, takes too much time to only end up with a quart of milk each time. So this is a very common way. It's called calf sharing. It's where you share the amount of milk with the calf. She gets about half and we'll get about half. And it means that we should hopefully get a couple gallons a day.
Now, Babe is 14 weeks older, just a little bit older than 14 weeks. So it is time for her to start eating grass and being introduced with a little bit of grain here and there. So this is actually perfect timing for us to start doing this.
If we were a commercial dairy, the common practice is actually to take the calf away the day that it's born. Usually within just a couple hours of being born, they'll take the calf away from the mom and never put it back. That way they get all of the milk from the mom. Of course, that's not the way we do things here. A lot of people will start this process though about what we're going to do as early as 3 weeks old. We thought it was better for Babe to be able to stay with Rose during this entire time, but now it's definitely time. So earlier today we set up a corral over here. We call this the barn lot. This is the fenced in area that's right in front of our barn. We set up a corral so that we can actually chase Babe into there overnight and then lock her inside of there. She'll still be able to be close to Rose because Rose can be on one side of the fence and Babe can be on the other, but she won't be able to nurse overnight.
She will have access to water and hay and grass. So if she gets thirsty or hungry, she's not going to go hungry at all.
Right. So let's go walk over. We'll show you the corral set up real quickly, and then we'll try to get Babe in there for the night. Now tonight, we do still have to milk Rose because it's part of the normal routine. Tomorrow will actually be the very first day that we're going to milk only once. We'll milk first thing tomorrow morning. So let's walk over to the corral and then we'll see if we can get Babe in there. So this is the corral system that we've set up. We built this out of 12-foot corral panels. For those of you who aren't familiar with what corral panels are, they're big metal fence panels that don't go into the ground permanently. They're movable. They just sit on top of the ground and they go together with these pins so you can take it apart and move it around if you want to. So this is where we set it up for now. This is again all 12-foot panels, and then here we left one of the panels to be able to open, and we'll use that like a gate. So once we get Babe inside of it, we'll be able to swing this one shut and then actually put the pins in place, and she'll be in there overnight. So it's going to be a good system. Like I said, the part I like about it is that they can still be close to each other, see each other. They're not actually separated. She'll be safe here overnight so that we can get the milk in the morning.
So Babe must have heard that it's time for her to be locked up, or knows our plan anyway. She's getting a bedtime snack. It's, it's almost 9 p.m. So it's not early in the evening, and we'll be back here in the morning, probably by 7 a.m. To milk Rose. So this is one of the reasons why we need to do this separation thing. Babe drinks like this all day long. She's got a growing appetite because she's a growing calf. So in order for us to get really any milk at all, we need to separate overnight so we get some milk in the morning. As soon as she's done nursing, we'll lead her into the corral area so that we can get Rose up on the stand for this last nighttime milking.
Well, it looks like she's done nursing, so we're gonna try to shoo her into the pen and see if we can get her locked up for the night. Okay, babe. That went pretty smoothly. All right, well, I would say that was a success. I think the area that we built the gate here was perfect because we could kind of get her into this rounded corner here, and then she just kind of ran right in. So I think that that is perfect.
So now we're actually gonna go milk Rose. We'll catch you guys back early tomorrow morning so we can see how much milk that we get from Rose, her first time.
And then after we milk tomorrow morning, we're actually gonna bring you guys along for all of the chores tomorrow morning because you guys have been telling us that you miss seeing all of the animals. We want to show you everything that's going on with the animals on all the different parts of the homestead. We're excited to bring you along so you can see how everything is growing.
We'll be back in a YouTube second.
Well, good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. the next morning. We're out here ready to milk. We've got all of our equipment. We're gonna go drop this off in the barn, then we're gonna take a quick peek at Babe, see how she did overnight, and then we'll get Rose up on the milking stand and we'll see if we get more milk this morning.
So far, both of them are pretty calm. We haven't heard any kind of noisiness, no struggle to get in with her calf or out with the mom. So I think things are going well. I think it probably helped that Babe had a nice big belly full of milk before we separated last night. But let's get going so we can see how everything is going to turn out this morning.
Morning, Rose.
Excuse us, Mama. Good morning, Babe. Well, you look pretty relaxed this morning for being separated overnight from your mom. Well, guys, she's just laying down, kind of chilling out. She's actually chewing her cud, like maybe she was eating some grass or a little bit of hay last night, so she looks pretty content. Yep, she's definitely chewing her cud. Look at that. But Mom is getting a little bit antsy, so let's get ready to milk. We can see how much we get from Rose this morning. Gotta wait a little bit, Mama. She's nice and full. Well, she did a great job. She's been such a good milker. It's been a long time actually that she's kicked at all on the milking stand. And that feels very heavy, like she had a lot of milk in there. So we're very pleased with that. So we're gonna let her out and let out Babe before we take care of the milk inside.
You ready to come out with your mama, Babe? Well, I think that was a success. The nice thing about waiting until Babe was older to start this process is that, you know, she is eating other things and drinking water. It wasn't so ravenous to get out and just, you know, so hungry in the morning because she hadn't had anything else to eat. She's got grass, she's got hay, and she's got water. So even though she is nursing now and drinking a little bit of milk, you know, it wasn't such a big deal to her to be taken away overnight. All right, let's get this milk in the house and find out how much we got. Well, I can tell you it looks like way more than a quart of milk. Let's strain it and get it in some jars and see how much is actually here. Well, a little over 1.5 gallons. I would say that is way better than the quart that we've been getting the last few days. So we're extremely happy with that. Let's get this put away. We need to wash up the milking equipment, and then let's get outside and take care of all of the other animals. Now that we're done with all of the milking chores, it's time to do all of the other animals. We need to go let the chickens and ducks out, the ducklings out. We need to go feed the beef cows, feed the rabbits, and go feed the pigs. So we still have a lot of morning chores to do. I've got the duck and chicken feed ready. Let's go do those next.
Well, let's let out the chickens and the ducks from the hoop coop. I did also want to give you guys an update on this chicken moat deer fencing system that we have here, the double fencing all the way around this 1 acre plot. We did that to keep deer out of our orchard with the thought process of deer won't jump a double fence that's 4 to 6 feet away from each other because they don't have very good depth perception. We've had quite a few questions from you guys about, well, how is it working? And actually it's working great, and we're so happy. None of our baby orchard trees out here have any signs of any nibbles from deer, and we spend quite a bit of time out here, you know, with animals and the little garden we have planted here in the orchard. We haven't seen any deer poop at all. We have been seeing tons of deer around though. In our pasture where Rose and Babe eat, we've seen deer in there. We've seen deer just all around, but none of them have jumped into or made it into our orchard area. So it is working, and we're so pleased with that. Okay, let's let the chickens and the ducks out of the hoop coop. Okay, let's go let out the ducklings. You guys haven't seen them in a while. You are gonna be shocked at how big they are.
So the last time you guys saw the ducklings, they were pretty little, and we were actually still having them in our chicken tractors. Since that time, they've grown a lot. They're 6.5 weeks old now, so they're not quite old enough yet to join the rest of the flock with the chickens and the other ducks. We'll have to wait till they're about 8 weeks or a little more before we do that. But they've outgrown the chicken tractors, so we've built them this little temporary pen here out of some old fencing that we had. We'll take this down when we're not using it anymore, but it's just a nice temporary spot for them to be able to be outside in the sun. And as you can hear, they're excited to get out. Now, we're raising 2 new kinds of ducks here on the homestead. We're raising pecans, which are the big white ducks like you see on the Aflac commercials. Sarah and I used to actually raise a lot of pecan ducks when we lived in Arizona, and we absolutely loved them. They are a big duck. They're a multi-purpose breed, so they're good for meat, and they're also very good egg layers. And then the other breed that we're raising are called Welsh Harlequin. They're a little bit smaller than the pecans, but they're also a very good layer, and they don't fly. Neither do the pecans. None of the ducks that we have can fly, so they will stay in this chicken moat area. Okay, they're too excited. I'm gonna go let them out. You guys are gonna be amazed at how big they are at 6.5 weeks old. Can you believe how big they are? I know you guys have missed us having a lot of ducks here on the homestead. I miss having a lot of ducks. To be honest, if I had to pick whether or not we have a lot of chickens or a lot of ducks, I would always pick a lot of ducks because to me, they just have so much personality and they're so fun to watch.
Now, it's been a long time since we have shown you the rabbits, given you an update on the rabbits. Now, rabbits are something that we are always going to have on the homestead. They are a very sustainable type of meat that you can raise on your homestead. We have access to a lot of other types of meat animals these days, and so our need to raise a lot of rabbits for meat for our family just isn't there anymore. So recently we did scale way back on our breeding stock of rabbits. We actually have kept one breeding pair of Samantha, our daughter, her New Zealands. There was a local family that was very much interested in raising the silver fox rabbits, so we actually sold the rest of our silver fox breeders to that family. Now, rabbits are something that can be scaled up very quickly in a situation where we need to rely again heavily on rabbits. So for now, we just have one pair of breeders that are New Zealand whites.
Next up is our cattle. You can see that they're laying down. Well, maybe you can't see, but they're way over there laying down in the shade. It's already pretty sunny out this morning. I saw them all out grazing earlier, so now it's nap time, I think. They like to lay down in the shade to chew their cud. So I'm gonna go get them a bucket of range cubes. We told you guys a few weeks ago that we're training them to come every morning to when we shake a bucket and have a bucket full of range cubes. It makes moving them from one pasture to the next that much easier. So I'm gonna go get a bucket of cubes and then we'll go out and we'll see if we can get them to come up. It's also how we count them every day. When they're just free ranging, I mean, this paddock that they're in right now is a very large paddock. And so the best way to be able to count them every day and make sure everybody is here is to get them all in one spot. By feeding them the range cubes, they all come up to one spot and we can count them very easily, make sure that everybody is where they're supposed to be. Our new bull, Tex, is working out really well. He's loving having all these ladies. And it looks like he's doing his job. Come on, cows! Come on, cows! Well, they're coming. One thing that I've learned is that cows don't come fast, usually. They'll hear you, they'll kind of look over your way, then they'll think about it for a while, decide whether or not they want to come. But usually, eventually, they will come. They just kind of walk at their own pace. Come on, cows! Come on! Come on, cows! Come on! Good morning, Tex. There you go. So if everybody's here, we should have 10 cows, 5 calves, Hudson, who's the steer that we're raising for meat, and our bull, Tex. Now Hudson, you guys may remember, was the calf that our old dairy cow, Hope, raised. And he's by far the tamest out of all of these cows. He loves to be scratched. The rest of the cows are tame. In fact, you can go up and pet most of them, but they're pretty standoffish. They don't really want your attention. They kind of tolerate it. The calves are always the last to come up in the morning. And it's funny that it seems like the cows kind of rotate amongst themselves which cow is going to stay back and watch the calves and make sure that the calves actually do come. And as usual, the calves are coming up and there's one cow staying back with them, just making sure that they're safe. All right, now that we've counted all the cattle and we made sure everybody is here, it's time to go feed the pigs. So let's go over and feed the pigs. All right, last thing we need to do for our morning chores is to go feed the pigs. So let's take a walk down. There's some news we have to report with the pigs and one other thing around here that we need to talk about. Now you may notice that it seems just a little bit quieter here on the homestead this morning. A lot of times you guys can hear our turkeys in the background. but we've actually gotten rid of the rest of the turkeys. As you know, for the last few years, we've been raising a heritage breed of turkey called blue slate turkeys. We actually hatched some of our own, and we had quite a few of them. We're down to just having 3 male turkeys left. They have gone by now, and we've decided that we're going to take a break from raising turkeys. We do enjoy raising turkeys, and we enjoy having the meat from the turkeys, but what we didn't enjoy was having the turkeys all the time, which we had to do with the heritage. So going forward, when we do want to raise some turkeys, we're going to go back to raising kind of a faster breed of turkey, like the broad-breasted. For us, it just makes more sense financially to not have to feed them year-round. We have enough other renewable meat sources on the homestead now. It's kind of the same mindset that we have with the rabbits. So that'll be the plan going forward in the future, is to get some more turkeys, but they'll be ones that we can raise over the summer, butcher in the fall, and not have to have them over the winter and everything else. All right, let's keep heading down toward the pigs. Before we make it all the way down to the other pigs, you might notice here that we have kind of a temporary chute built. This is what we use when we need to load pigs into a trailer. We've told you guys in the past that we've been having a problem with our one sow, Mildred, that even though she was in with our boar for a long time, 6 or 8 months, she was in on and off with him trying to get her bred, and we just were not able to get her bred. So we made the decision that we are going to get rid of Mildred. We actually contacted the original breeder that we got her from and see if she would want her back so that she might be able to try breeding her with a different boar. So just yesterday, they came and they got her and they took her back to the original farm that she came from. We still have Myrtle, we still have all the other pigs, and actually this summer we're going to be getting 2 new gilts from a farm in Wisconsin. They're going to be bringing them down, so we're excited about that. And those 2 gilts will be registered IPPs, so we'll be able to start selling registered breeding stock after they grow up a little bit. So we're excited about that. We're excited to expand the pigs, but Mildred, just because she wasn't getting pregnant, we're just not able to keep her around just to feed her if she isn't serving a purpose here on the farm. So hopefully the other breeder will have good luck with her and she'll be able to get her pregnant. All right, let's head down and take a look at the other pigs. So you might notice here in the big pig pen now are our young pigs. This one here is Ginger. She is a registered Idaho pasture pig. She will be one of our new sows when she gets older. Right now she's a gilt, which means she's a young pig that hasn't had babies yet. And this one here is out of the litter of pigs that Myrtle had this last winter. You can see what a great job she's doing. We're actually going to be raising her up for meat. But these 2 are loving being out in this big pen now. All this room, you can see they have a lot of grass to eat. They're excited to be out here. Right now they're excited because I have this bucket in my hand. So let's take their food down, give it to them, because they're excited to eat. Come on, girls. Well, looks like Charlie and Myrtle are excited for their breakfast too. So let's go over there while we're here. Good morning. Well, you gotta let me dump it. So Myrtle, this is Myrtle. She's currently in with Charlie, our boar, hoping that she will get pregnant. Now Charlie has had no problem getting Myrtle pregnant in the past. In fact, the baby that we just saw in the other pen is one of Charlie and Myrtle's babies. So we know the issue with our other sow wasn't Charlie. He was more than willing to try to get her pregnant. It just seemed like she had become kind of territorial and aggressive toward Charlie. And every time he tried to breed her, she would walk away or push him off or even get a little testy with him sometimes. So it just seems like that was really the issue. I don't even think that it's necessarily like a health issue with Mildred that she couldn't get pregnant. I think she became kind of the lead pig over Charlie, and she wouldn't let him breed her anymore. So we're hoping that by sending her to another farm, that they'll have better luck with her. We won't be getting her back. We didn't send her there just to get bred and come back. They're actually going to be keeping her and breeding with their boar from here on out. But we're hoping that Myrtle will get pregnant here soon. We just put her in with Charlie last night. If she gets pregnant right away, within the next couple of weeks, she'll be having babies sometime between the middle and end of October. So you guys will be watching for that if you're interested in raising some Idaho pasture pigs. These won't be registered because Myrtle isn't registered, but we will have baby IPPs again for sale in the fall, hopefully. Well, morning chores are complete. Well, morning animal chores are complete. Now we move on to all the other things that we have to do around the homestead today. Taking care of the gardens, making sure everything is getting watered, and just staying on top of all the little odds and ends.
Generally in the course of the day, our morning chores take about 2 hours, and our evening chores do also. Making sure that everybody is fed and watered in the morning, letting them out in the evening, putting them away. And in between there, like Kevin said, is when we're keeping up with gardens and any projects that we have going on, spending time with our girls, that kind of thing.
So we always like to give you guys a true picture of what homesteading is like. It's a lot of work. Most days we work a good 12 hours. We take a very short break for lunch, but you know, it's a life that we absolutely love. We wouldn't trade it for the world. I would much rather work 12 to 14 hours a day, every single day, out in the heat, taking care of our gardens and taking care of the animals than being stuck behind a desk. So I'm glad that those days are behind us, and this is what we're doing now. It is a great life.
So you guys, that's where we're going to end the video today. We're so glad that you came with us while we separated our cow and our calf for the first time so we could get a really nice milking this morning and taking care of all the animals. It was good that you guys had an opportunity to see them all and hear our updates. So if you're enjoying our channel and our videos, make sure that you hit the subscribe button below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. And as always, really the best way that you can help us here on the homestead is just to share our videos on all your social media. Until next time, thank you so much for stopping by our homestead. Take care and God bless.
God bless.